All right, we are live. I think I'm live. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see if I can mess with my mic a little bit. Hey, if you guys are on in the live room right now, we have like 8 people. If you guys could go and just give me a 1, 2, just let me know you guys can hear me. And I'm going to post this in the Facebook group so we can get going. But yeah, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. And then we're just going to do a Q&A today. I figured it'd be kind of cool on Sunday. Got my work done, so we'd hop on here and happy to answer all you guys' questions. Let's see here. Post that. Okay. All right, again, guys, give me a 1 or a 2 if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure you guys can hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Are you guys in other states? True Focus Investments, LLC. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, awesome. Cool. We have a couple questions too that came in before. All right, guys, so hopefully everyone's doing well. Happy Sunday. I'm super excited to be here. 100K Club. We've got our new 100K Club. You guys are not on this yet. 100K Club, we're giving out all of our surplus wares that make $100,000. The 100K Club shirts and a plaque. And then if you make $10,000, we're giving you a shirt and a certificate. So get on that. And happy Sunday. What's up, my man? All right, let's start doing some Q&A. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? Again, if you guys can hear me, give me some ones just to make sure you guys can hear what I'm saying. All right, Anthony Johnson says, hey, Spencer, looking forward to it. I want to join your program for weeks now. I'm still hesitant, but I hope this live will clear up a few questions I have. For sure, man. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Paul Turner, hi, Spencer. What's promotional discount of your program? The only discount we give on our program is for, like we have a webinar discount. So if you come in through the webinar, we have a webinar discount. I will give that to you guys because I'm nice. True Focus Investments LLC, are you guys in other states? Yes, we just released our national course, National Module 6. Let me not answer that phone and let me put it on mute. Module number 6 is our national module. So now you can basically take our business model. I mean, you could always take the principles of it, but we've cleared up a lot of things. So we actually teach 2 different ways to make money on a national level now, which is pretty exciting. Yes, I can hear you. Happy Sunday. Thumbs up. Awesome, guys. All right, guys, again, all your questions, I'm here. As long as you guys, I'll be here for 2 minutes or 2 hours. As long as you guys have questions, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the video. What's the typical time frame for a deal from day the contract is signed until you get your actual check? Please elaborate on this topic as much as you can. Thanks again. Okay, so that's a complicated question, as I'm sure you sound like you're pretty aware of that. First of all, it depends on what method that you do that we teach. So right now we teach basically 4 main methods, okay? The primary method right now, if you have our course, and I don't know if you particularly do or not, but if you have our course, the main method we teach is basically foreclosure surplus funds in the state of California. Now, you can take that to any state, but specifically it's about California. And those vary greatly. So we've literally seen them paid out in as little as 5 weeks. We've seen them take up to 9 months. So to give you an average, I would say it's about 8 to 12 weeks is on average. But I mean, really, it's just up to the trustee. Unfortunately, it's kind of out of your hands once you get the contract signed. So that's why you want to just be constantly making phone calls, contacts, and all of that. I have the course still. Okay, there you go. So that's the main method we teach now. Now, we have something coming out soon. It's kind of going to be a reorganization of everything that we have to where we're equally talking about all the different methods that we teach, because right now we're kind of neglecting 2 of the biggest methods that we have. And so not a lot of people are going into it. So my best advice for you, if you want to get paid out quickly, is to go through the private investigator mini course, because that's going to be through the state. And they usually pay out a little quicker because you don't have to go through a trustee. You don't have to go through a bunch of companies, basically. So, yeah. And that's in the course as well as private investigator mini course at the bottom left where all the modules are. Okay. Are the leads part of surplus? I'm assuming you're talking about the national course. No, they are not. We teach you how to go out and get your own leads, which is good because you get to save $100 a month for surplus list, but you do have to do a little extra work. So it's a trade-off. Eventually, we'd like to have a national surplus fund lead site. That would be pretty cool. I have the course still on Module 0. Awesome. Is the same time span for the client check? Yes, it's the exact same. So no matter what, if it takes six weeks for you to get paid, it'll take 6 weeks for your client to get paid. You're not going to get paid later or before that. It might be within a day, but it just depends on where you live and how quickly the mail goes. Adrian says, "What's going on, man? How are you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. Closing on wholesale deals in 3 states this week. Looking for some clarity on nationwide recovery." Okay, you gotta. What do you need clarification on, man? You gotta be more specific. I don't know what you mean, but congratulations on the deals, man. It's good to hear that you're doing well. Elite Perseverance too. What's going on, man? How you doing? Again, guys, this is your chance, guys, to ask all the questions you want. I'll be on here as long as you guys want me to. So if you guys want me to be on here for 3 minutes, I'll be on here for 3 minutes. Not the 2.75, Adrian. Hey, Adrian, I know. Come on now. I didn't forget your last name, man. 2, what is the biggest objection to people when you explain they have funds that can be recovered? Do people usually think you are scamming them? Not that you're necessarily scamming them, but it is a trust issue. I think everyone's biggest objection is a little bit different, but it definitely kind of narrows down to one of a couple things. The first one is just building the trust. And really, by the way, that's going to be how you overcome 99% of objections. If you ever do sales outside of like surplus funds, and you're selling an actual product where they have to give you money, like 9 times out of 10, when someone says, I don't have money, it's not because they don't actually have money. It's because they don't trust you enough to give you their money, right? So it's almost always a trust issue. And so that's kind of what you want to focus on when you're making these calls. And this is something we're going to be releasing. Again, I don't want to talk too much about this because this is like a month away. So shout out to you guys that are in. We've got more updates coming in as we always do. But we're going to be talking more about going deep versus going broad, because a lot of you guys are like, I'm going to make 1 million calls. And the problem with that is that you're so surface level with all 1 million calls that nothing ever happens. But instead you want to make 20 calls, but those 20 calls, you're building huge relationships, with those people. And so you're able to get a lot more deals that way. So it's just all about building trust. Again, some people do think you're scamming them, but really, it's just a trust thing. It's going to be the same thing with the contracts. Like, I don't want to sign contracts. We've had people, sometimes you'll call people like, I don't want to work with an attorney because an attorney screwed me over before. It's just all trust. It's almost always going to be trust that you have to overcome. And that just takes time and consistency on the phone and working with them. So, and the people, I'm sure the people that are in my program right now that are making calls and all that are probably found the same thing. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of it is just you guys are trying to build relationships with people, and it's just a trust issue. So, yeah, awesome, man. How do you handle those objections? Good question. I think the first thing is you have to understand people. So, if I called you and I was like, hey man, you're owed $10,000, and you're like, okay, sure, right? And you're just totally being sarcastic, like, sure, man, yeah, I'm actually owed $10,000. And I'm like, no, seriously. You're like, dude, I was just foreclosed and I lost my job. No one owes me $10,000. I have to understand that you're not going to just say yes to that. I have to genuinely understand that you just went through something, and I have to be there for you. I have to be a shoulder to cry on, metaphorically, right? And so that is kind of the key is understanding where people are coming from, and then genuinely wanting to help them. Because if you come on and you said you're in the program, so if you come on in the program and you just make a bunch of calls, and your calls are just trying to be salesy and trying to sell everybody, which by the way, I love doing. I love selling. I love talking to people. I love all that. But you have to build real relationships for this business to work. Because even if you get, a deal and you build enough trust for them to sign the contracts, well, guess what? Let's say it takes 8 weeks for it to pay out. You have to be building that relationship for 8 weeks, okay? You have to be consistently working with them. Hey, updating them every week. This is what's happened this week. This is the update we're expecting soon, blah, blah, blah. And so the point I'm trying to make to you is it's all about relationships, and it's all about understanding where people are coming from, and just working with them where they're at and bringing them to where they need to be. Hopefully if that doesn't make sense, I can explain it more, but hopefully that makes sense. Are there CSV lists of these leads to skip trace? Just recently switched to a 10-line dialer. Yes, it's on surpluslist.com. You can download CSVs, you can download Excel files, PDFs, you can print them, whatever you want. Once I pay 99 for surplus list, what can I expect? Do I need more for courses? Also talk about surplus fund contracts. I'm a beginner. Do you have a course on those? Anthony, I think if you're brand new, I think you need to, honestly, dude, and again, I love selling, so I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're brand new to surplus funds, you need to get inside surplus fund mastery, because you're asking about contracts. All surplus list is gonna give you, dude, are basically just the leads for California, and that's it. But if you want the contracts and you want the actual training and you want coaching, and remind me, guys, I have an announcement about coaching calls, so that's important. But if you want all of that, you're gonna need to get in surplus fund mastery, because surplus list is just the leads. Now the cool thing is, if you sign up for surplus fund mastery, you actually get 3 months of free leads from surplus list. So yeah, but we actually give you attorneys, we give you contracts, we give you coaching, literally coaching calls. We're doing 3 a week now. I know, big announcement. I'll make that later on. What else we do? We do a bunch of stuff. I don't know. You guys know. Not having any luck being able to find surplus properties in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Any suggestions? Dude, we just literally, Terrence, we had someone email us like, is it this morning or last night? David forwarded it to me. That literally she sent us a list of like 40 different like surplus fund properties that leads that she had found from county records in Dallas specifically, which is kind of funny. So keep looking, man. It's on there. You're going to want to ask David for that because he's the mastermind behind the whole national course. So I'm not really going to be able to help you there, man. But hey, Spencer, I have a current deal where the trustee is divorced, his ex-wife remarried, and the husband has VA benefits. She doesn't want to receive the funds because he will lose benefits. Okay. Is there a way for the trustee ex-husband to receive the funds in his name without the wife receiving the income so they can keep their VA benefits? It's a really interesting question. Huh. I'm not sure. You're going to have to ask, you're probably going to have to ask the attorney for that. Because I don't know. That's such a specific case. I've never personally dealt with that. So I'm not sure. What I would say, dude, is email David at surpluslist.com, or I think you're in the group. So just post in the Facebook group that same question and David will answer that for you. Because that's going to be something he'd know a lot more than I would. And I'm going to be honest with you, dude, that's such a specific thing. Like it's probably going to be a legal question. We're going to have to ask a lawyer to answer that one for us. So I'm sure there's got to be a way to do it. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't even know very much about VA benefits. So I don't even know how that works. So I'm not the right person to ask, unfortunately. You guys talk about a 30-day guarantee for a program. What all does that include? Closing a deal or getting a deal signed? Just basically, it's pretty simple. So we have a 30-day action-based guarantee, which basically says if you join the program and you basically watch all the videos in the course, modules 0 through 6, which is like, I don't know, maybe like 15 hours of content, something like that. And then you attend 2 live coaching calls, and we're doing 3 of those a week now. And I don't want to spoil the announcement, but we're doing 3 a week now. So you got to attend 2 of those in 30 days, and then you have to make your 10 contacts for 20 days, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. And if you do not get a deal, at least a deal under contract, and you want a refund, then we're happy to give you one. George says, thank you, Spencer. I really appreciate it. I'll email David. Absolutely, man. And again, I apologize for not being able to answer that question. It's just such a specific thing. Like I would have to sit down and, again, probably talk to an attorney to handle that. Ethan, I've sent a couple of contracts out for signature. It seems harder to get these contracts signed and returned than it was getting the yes to send them. Yes, it is. I've made follow-up calls, but I don't want to push too hard. What is the best way to handle this? I mean, it's funny, Ethan. I was talking with our legal team yesterday about this. And I like where you're coming from. Like, you don't want to push too hard, and that's absolutely right. You don't. At the same time, you have to push a little bit. So it's like, where do you end up? One of the people on our legal team, I'm not going to reveal their names, but for the people that are not in our course, I don't want them to cheat the system here. But one of the people that works there basically was like, dude, we had someone call us and say one of your surplus warriors was like harassing this lady on the phone, like called him like 15 times, like in 3 minutes. And I'm like, dude, that's not good. So do not do that. But at the same time, you need to follow up with them. And, I would say 2 big tips that you want to think about. First of all, follow up with multiple mediums. So everybody's different, right? For me, I've always loved video. So if I'm like I don't really use Facebook that much, but I use YouTube a lot because it's video. I like to watch videos, right? But some people, they would much rather read a blog post than they would watch a video. And so for you, man, some people are going to be much better. They're going to answer your phone calls more. They're going to be better on the phone than they would via text or email. But some people, it's going to be the opposite. They're just very busy. They don't have time to talk, and they can get back to you when they get back to you on email. And so I guess my point is be following up multiple reasons. Hey, call them, and then, hey, man, I just gave you a call. You didn't answer. Please shoot me an email back. I want to get these contracts signed and get you your funds recovered as quickly as possible. The longer we wait, the less likely there's going to be money there. So, yeah. And then number 2 is being persistent without being over aggressive. And I think you're trying to find that balance right now. Really, the key is you need to find a reason to call them. Okay. And yes, once in a while, the reason can be, hey, man, I need the contracts. But the reason can also be like, hey, man, I know you live in Denver, and it was opening day. The Rockies just played. I don't know if they won or not, but they won. I wanted to catch up with you, man. How are you doing? Like, again, it's all about building those relationships. That's why I don't know who it was that asked us earlier about like, what's the biggest objection? I think it was Tellman. And I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong, but like, it's all about relationships. Like someone might just say yes, and I'm like, oh my God, stop talking to me. Yes. Okay. But if you have a relationship that that yes is going to be, okay, let me get the contracts back to you as quickly as possible, right? So it's more than just getting a yes. It's all about the relationship. I cannot stress that enough. All right, what else? What else do we have? Does that make sense, by the way? Like, give me a 1 if that makes sense. I'm still on module 0 of the course. I want to stay local. Can I get leads for the state of Pennsylvania in your leads website or just Cali leads only? Our website's just Cali leads only, but we actually show you now how to get leads in your local area. So you'll be able to figure that out. Again, which is, there's pros and cons to that. The pro is you get to save $100 a month. The con is you have to go and find it yourself. So yeah. Anyway. I'm excited about this 100K club, by the way. I'm hyped about it. Please leave link to masterclass. Hey, Spencer. What's up, man? How you doing, Elliot? All right, I'll leave link to the masterclass. I'll give you guys the webinar discount. So that's not last. That's wrong. Yeah. All right. Boom. There's the link. The link to the masterclass. All right, guys. Again, any more questions, guys? I want to answer as many questions as I possibly can. This is your chance to ask me anything you want. But if I don't get any more questions, I'm just going to leave because I have other things to do, and I'm sure we do too. But I'm happy to stay as long as you want. How long have you been in the business? I've been in the business for about a year and a half. But that's why David teaches the 99% majority of the course, because he's the one that's been in the business for like 16 years. So, or he's been in real estate for like 16 years. I don't know how long, at least 4 years he's been in surplus. I don't know. Might be longer than that. 4 or 5 years. There are a few counties in CA missing from surplus lists. Will they be added in the future, or would we need to go to those county courts? You're probably going to have to go to those county courts. I'm not sure which counties are missing, but I'm going to be honest with you. I know for a fact we have all the major ones, and if there's ones missing on there, it's probably because there's just a lot of foreclosures. Again, I'd have to double check that. But is there anything illegal about calling on a? I don't know. I don't think there's anything illegal about calling on a Sunday. Really, it's just with calling, guys, with phone etiquette. Like, it's just about being reasonable. Like calling on a Sunday afternoon, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you call on Sunday at midnight, like there's something wrong with that. So just be. And I know they say common sense is not common, but just think about if someone was going to call you, what time would you want them to call you? Okay, not at 9:30 p.m. on a Sunday night, but at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, yeah, that's fine, right? Does the attorney that you provide cost anything to the people who are in your surplus mastery? Yes and no. So no, in terms of they don't have to pay anything out of pocket. In fact, no one does. But yes, the attorney charges like an overhead fee to cover her costs. Yeah, so she gets like a small percentage out of the deal. But there's no it's not like you have to pay them like $1,000 retainer or anything like that. You don't actually have to pay anything out of pocket. And neither does your client, by the way, which is why we love our attorney. All right. Any more questions, guys? Mr. Spencer, when applying to become an investigator for CA, is there anything extra that needs to be supplied to become the investigator? Not really. Just follow the video that we have on there, and you should be good to go. Rohilo, did you send me an email? I know we're going to do a call, dude. I don't think you sent me an email last week, and if you did, I totally missed it. But I really want to get on a call with you, man. It's been too long since I've chatted with you. So shoot me an email, man. What is the turnaround time for, I missed one, hold on. Total daily dial 609. There you go, Adrian. I love it. Adrian's a killer wholesaler. What is the turnaround time after a deal has been closed when the person and also yourself would be compensated? So, again, it depends on what method you're going to follow in terms of, we teach 4 different methods. If you're following the basic surplus fund method, it's typically 8 to 12 weeks, but it can vary widely. So we've seen it as low as 5 weeks. We've seen it all the way take 9 months. So it's 100% based on the situation, and based on just really the company that's holding the funds, really, and a bunch of other variables. So it kind of just ranges a lot. One more, is the trustee sale number, the APN number in the Excel files? Yeah, it should be. If you download the Excel file, you'll see we have 100 columns on there full of a ton of information, and 98% of it's not on the actual lead site until you download the file. So yes, it should definitely be on there. And if it's not, let me know, because that needs to be on there. When can or will more years be added to surplus list? 2015, 2014, 2013. Dude, it's funny, like originally we were going to do that, but the thing about that, Adrian, is like all of those years, they've like 2015 and back at this point, 99.999% of those have gone to the state. And so in order to reclaim those funds anyway, you're going to have to go through the state. And since the state has their own leads, it kind of doesn't make sense for us to put it on there. So honestly, probably never. It's kind of sad, but at least for California, it just doesn't make sense because you can get that information for free on the state website. So does the attorney fees come from the surplus money that I receive? It comes from the total surplus fund, which I guess is from the money you receive, but not, I don't know, it just comes from the overall surplus. So I'll break it down. So if there's a $100,000 fund, okay, and you take a fee of 30%, okay, so you're going to make $30,000, okay, you're going to end up with 20%. You're going to end up with 20,000, and the attorney, to cover all their costs and to make a little money, is going to end up with 10% of the overall deal, or 10,000. Now you can change how much percent you want to take. You're like, okay, well the attorney's going to take 10%, so I'm going to take 40%. So then you'll end up with 30%, and the attorney still gets their 10. So the attorney is going to get 10% or a minimum of 4,500. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. Does your attorney close in the other states outside of CA, or does the course include other attorneys for other states? Our specific attorney, no, does not close deals outside of CA. We teach you how to find your own attorneys outside of CA. In the future, we are going to have other attorneys in other states. We really just want to see what states are most popular to get those ones done first. Texas is probably going to be first on our list. And if you guys have any recommendations for that you would not mind sharing, we'd love to put that in there. So, but that is something we will be adding. But we do teach you how to find your own attorney right now. Ethan, will surplus list ever be available via Android or iPhone? I spend a lot of time from the computer with JOB. Yeah, it's something we'd like to do. We really need to edit the software because it's kind of a very beta version of the software. So yes, do I have a time frame that? Absolutely not. It might be 7 years. It might be 2 weeks, but yes, we would like to do that. Hey, Spencer, this is Alexandra. So I found that people don't answer too much out of area code. So we found a way to pass that, and we at least are getting responses. Awesome. That's good. If the client is told they don't have any funds at the time of foreclosure, should we continue to pursue? No, probably not. Really, dude, like, and I was talking about this earlier, Elliot, it's all about going deep versus going broad. So instead of making a million phone calls where you barely build a relationship, you want to really identify 100 leads that are like going to be really good, right? You run title reports, you figure out all of these things, like these are good leads. And then you just pound those leads and and I say pound, not harassing, but building relationships with these people. And that's kind of the way to do it. So, but if someone says, hey, they already told me I don't have funds, or like we've had a bunch of people submit deals, and then like our legal team's like, well, their funds have been paid out. And they're like, yeah, they told us that, but we just submitted the deal anyway. And we're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So if they've already been paid, don't put it under contract. If they, now if they're saying, hey, we're trying to look into it, be like, okay, well, and then that's where you can try to convince them. But at the end of the day, if they've already been paid, they've already been paid. So don't waste your time or their time. Does all deals need a lawyer? No, not anymore. We actually, in the national course, we're teaching a way to do it without an attorney. Although technically you do not need an attorney, although we highly recommend a disclaimer, you should use an attorney. Okay. But technically you don't need one. And I just want to make another disclaimer since I just said that. You are responsible for everything that you do with that. You're on your own. But at the end of the day, we always recommend that you use an attorney, whether it's ours or your own. And we always recommend that you check with all your financial people and all that. Make sure what you're doing is good. Adrian says, gotcha, makes sense. Can I bring you/your attorney a surplus deal I found out contracted in CA without buying the course? No. No, dude, like, MJ, just so you know, dude, like we have 70 deals right now processing. Like we just don't have time to process other people's deals. Like I'm sorry, but we're actually getting, I don't want to say it, never mind. Let me not say anything because it might not happen, but we're working on expanding our legal team. Let's just leave it at that because we literally have too many deals to process, and we just don't want to lower our customer support. So the last thing we can do right now is start bringing in deals from like other people that are not even in the course. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm sorry, dude, but it's not going to happen. How often do you update the CA leads list? It updates every 12 hours. So yeah, every 12 hours is our goal, but minimum once a day. What is the way to do the program in my area? Is that in the private investigator mini course? Yes. So private investigator mini course will teach you private investigator mini course teaches you how to recover state funds. Now, there are state funds in most states. So you just take, basically, we use California as an example, but you can just take what you apply and search it in New York or Texas or whatever and become certified there. And then module 6 teaches you nationally how to do the other stuff that we teach. So if you want to do it in your area, do it that way, module 6. Timothy Thomas, hey, Spencer, what should I do when the phone numbers or email addresses are no good? It's a good question. Really, Timothy, like where the money's going to start being made as more people, and this is true in real estate, wholesaling as it is, like it's not about how easy it is to find someone. It's about how far you're willing to go to find someone. So if you're like, there's like lead sites out there, or not lead sites, like reverse lookup sites that, you can pay $1 per search, which is ridiculously expensive, right? Spokio is like $30 a month for like 500 searches or something, right? So $1 per search is a lot of money. But it's extremely accurate data. And so if you're having a lot of trouble with that, then that might be something you might want to invest in that. And then the other option, dude, is just to move on to the next lead. I mean, that's really your two options. But really where the money's going to start being made is going deep with people. Again, locating people that other people are just too lazy to find. And that's one way to do it is just, you know what, let me call up some relatives. Let me look up their relatives, call them. Let me look at old employers on their LinkedIn and call them and see if I can, right? So it's all about how far can you go with someone? Because even if you spend 10 hours getting one deal and that deal makes you $10,000, you just made $1,000 an hour. So it's pretty good. Alternate to prior question. If I bring the deal, can I pay you for the course from the proceeds? No, you cannot do that either, because that doesn't make any sense. MJ, if you have a deal, dude, if you have a deal and you want to process it, just buy the course. I don't understand why you wouldn't buy the course, because not only are you going to get that, you're going to get a bunch of free leads. If you have a deal under contract, I guess you wouldn't need the contracts. But then if you had the contract, you'd probably already have an attorney. So it doesn't make any sense either. So I don't know, dude. I mean, like I said, we keep everything really tight knit for our surplus warriors, because if we took on everyone's deals, like, I mean, no one would be able to get a hold of our legal team, and it would be like a pain in the ass. So we don't want that to happen for our people. In addition, does the module cover recovering funds from tax sales? Come across a lot of tax foreclosures in the states I operate in. Module 6 briefly mentions it. It's not something we talk a lot about. To be quite honest with you, though, tax overages and foreclosure overages they're different, and it depends. But first, I'm going to say it depends very much so on what state that you're doing this in. But it's kind of a similar process. You're just kind of locating people and letting them know what's going on. So yes, but there are a lot of tax overages out there, and that's something we probably would like to add in the future. Actually, let me write that down. Let me write that down. You just gave me a good idea, Adrian. See, this is where I get all my new content from, guys. I just do live streams and I just ask you guys questions, and you guys tell me what you guys want. Maybe we'll do a whole module on tax overages. That'd be cool. All right, guys. Any more questions here? We got 39 people on. So, by the way, if you guys are enjoying this, can you guys give me a like? I just want to make sure you guys are enjoying this. I'm not wasting anyone's time. We have some people on, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this. All right, Elliot. Elliot says like. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Adrian says, thanks, bro. Of course, man. Talman, Rogelio. Awesome, guys. I just want to make sure you guys are enjoying it. David Daniels, like. Awesome. Okay. You guys have more questions? Like I said, I'll be here as long as you guys want. As long as you guys want. We will do some more questions. Adrian Collins. So Adrian, has the 2.75, has it turned into 3 yet, or is it still 2.75? Hey, Spencer, if the trustor is an LLC, where would one start to find them? So it depends. If the LLC, and every state's different. So if the LLC is registered in California, usually you can go up and you can look up company names, and you might be able to find some records on them. I know I've done that because in the past, there's this commercial property that is, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 miles south of here. And it's, I live in Orange County, beautiful Orange County. If you guys have ever been here, it's a very, well taken care of area. And so there's not a lot of abandoned buildings. I mean, there's virtually none, but there's this one massive abandoned building in the middle of this beautiful, very expensive city. Right. And it's just been sitting there. It's cute. It's 30,000 square feet. Like it's just stupidly large, right? And it's just completely overgrown. And so I really wanted to buy it. And I looked it up, and it's owned by like an LLC, and then that LLC is owned by another LLC. So I'm trying to track them down. But usually you can look up the name of the LLC and find out who owns it. And then at that point you can do like a skip trace on that person. Rahila, yes, always learning is good. Kudo P, hi, what's up, man? Adrian Collins, Cinco de Mayo is when it's supposed to be 3. What? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Did I say Cinco? I didn't say anything about Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo, that's May 5th, bro. It's like April, man. Inland Empire, LOL. Do you see surplus funds as something you will continue doing for the next 10 years? I don't see why not. Honestly, it's funny, we're due for a market correction or even a potentially market crash in the next, 24 months. And who knows, I'm not telling you it's going to happen or not, but mathematically it's going to happen. And it's just going to make the business even better because there's going to be more people that are being foreclosed on. In fact, right now we have very low foreclosures across the country, and it's starting to go up a little bit, but it's not a lot. So yeah, as long as there's people that need money, then my mission in life, Mike, is to literally recover every single dollar in surplus. And obviously I'm not going to do that. That's why I have a program and I help people do it, because for me to even make a dent, for me to make a 0.5% dent over a 10-year period, I would have to have like hundreds of salespeople. Like it'd be ridiculous. So anyway, especially now that we're on the national level too. God body, I'm new, bro. How much is the course and what all does it contain? Dude, honestly, bro, just watch the 9 Investors webinar because it'll teach you the basics of it. And I don't have time to explain it. Honestly, I don't really want to sell on here. I'm kind of tired. I got back from Denver super early in the morning, so I don't really feel like explaining that right now. Let's just say it contains everything you need to do surplus funds. Watch the webinar. It teaches you everything. Frank, thanks, Spencer. Sorry, I've been falling way behind. I'm improving. Hey, no worries, man. Like I said, we're all on our own journey, and discipline is the key, as you know. So it's like, just can you be disciplined? And I make mistakes all the time, so it's okay. Adrian, yes, LOL. My third children's. Oh, your third children's due on May 5th. I was so confused. You're like Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, that's cool, man. Awesome. That's a great birthday to have, man. Cinco de Mayo. I'm hyped for you, man. Thanks, Alexander. Thank you, Rahilo. At what point do you use the title report? Before you submit it, I would go and I'd double check, make sure it looks good. Just so you're not sending the attorney something that's already been paid out. And obviously you're talking with them saying, hey, did you have any other liens on the property? Have you been paid out? But you still want to double check. David, do we use a 1099 for the income we receive? Yes, I believe so. I want to, like 99% sure, say yes. I'm not a tax expert, so I'm not going to say, listen to me. I'm going to say, talk to your tax experts. And I'm going to say, talk with David, because he's going to handle all of that. So he does handle all of that, I should say. So my role in this business is create sales and marketing, basically oversee the actual company itself. But the actual details of like surplus funds and all that is taught basically entirely by David, because he's the expert in it, not me. So, I know more than the average person, but that stuff's specific. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1099. What is your opinion on using VAs? I have a VA. Actually, we have like 3 VAs. The thing about VAs, Elliot, yes, it's cheap and it's cheap labor, and you can get them. You can get them real cheap, but it's just, if they're going to be working directly, now if they're going to be skip tracing for you, that's go ahead, do it. If they're going to be working and calling people and all that, don't do it, because you just don't want to give yourself a bad reputation of, these people overseas that are calling. You've called in before and wanted, wanted a question answer from AT&T, and you get on their customer support, and it's some lady that, barely speaks English in some foreign country. And you're like, dude, what the hell? Like, I just want to have this problem solved. And it takes an hour. And you don't want to build that relationship. So good body. You got the link. Yeah, I do. Here we go. I got you, man. 9 Investors. So that's for the actual, webinar. And like I said, dude, just go in there and check it out. And if it sounds like something you're interested in, I talk about it on there, and there's a discount on there anyway. So you get it for cheaper. Adrian says third child's due date. Oh, gotcha. It says, any advice? I already answered that. Rahilio, how do you approach a title company person at a REI group to explore if they are a good one? Well, 2 things. First of all is, if you're in a bind to get title reports, just go on to Agent Pro 24/7. because you can basically get a title report on there without knowing a title rep, but you still want to get a title rep. But if you need one like today, then do that. It's called agentpro24/7.com. But as far as actually building the relationship with them, again, it's just all about bringing them value. So it's like, hey, you know, I'm a real estate investor. I'd love to work with you. You know, what do you do? Oh, okay, you're a title rep. Awesome. You know, and just to take them out to lunch, see how they can help you. You know, you want someone that at least is familiar with surplus funds. Not all title reps are going to know everything about surplus funds. So make sure they know a little bit, you know, at least more than the average person. The AI file has fees at 35%. Do we change it to 30% or is it 5%? Yeah, Ivan, we actually did it on purpose, although we should probably explain it better. Basically, what we're trying to tell you, and again, we should probably tell you this straight up instead of sending you subliminal messages. But basically, is you can change the percentage to whatever you want. Okay, the attorney's overhead is 10%. So if you take 10%, you're going to make no money. But if you take 20%, then you're going to make 10%. If you take 30%, you're going to make 20%. If you take 35%, you're going to make 25%. So you can change that to whatever you want to, as long as your client agrees to it. So that's why we had them at two separate ones, but we need to explain that better. DJ Deuce. What's up, DJ Deuce? One client previously tried to get surplus funds on her own and was unsuccessful. The client spoke about having a junior lien owed on that property and want to know, should I still send this in or not? If you've run a title report, well, you need to run a title report. So do that, and that'll pretty much answer your question. Basically, when you're looking at a title report, just so you guys understand, you're trying to do the math, and it's not going to be perfect, but you want to just do the rough math. Of course, says the attorney overhead is 5%, not 10%. I don't know what the actual overhead is 10%. So I don't know what video that is, but we should change that. So let me know. It's been 10% for a long time. Well, to be truthful, it's 10% overhead. 5% goes to the attorney and 5% goes to surplus list. So it's 5. I guess the attorney is 5%, but it's 10% overall. Kalana, just got the course. Look forward to working with you. Awesome, man. Super excited to have you in here. Fit not free. I know, right? Good question, Ivan. I've noticed that. Anyway, I got totally sidetracked. So if you have a title report, what you're looking at basically is you're looking at how much the property sold for, and you can find that information on surplus list, or you can just ask the person. A lot of times they'll know that it sold for $500,000, and you're saying, okay, well, what loan foreclosed on? Well, loan foreclosed for $300,000. Okay, so there's potentially $200,000 in surplus funds, but look at there's this extra lien right here for $150,000, and so chances are they've already been paid out. So maybe there's $50,000 left, and oh, look at there's this other lien, and so you're just trying to do the basic math in your head. Is kind of what you're doing. I think we're pretty sure we have a video, and we have a couple of videos in the course talking about that. But where do you get your VAs from? Is there a link? See, if I gave you guys the link, like I don't know if you guys are ready for that link. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are ready for that link. I can definitely hook you guys up though if you guys really want. Just let me know. Can this be turned to a full-time business like real estate wholesaling? Yeah, I mean, if you get one deal a month and you get paid out on that, then and that deal pays you $10,000 to $12,000 a month, then absolutely. I mean, we had Rick, who's by far our most successful student, at least to date, does like 12 to 15 deals a month. And I mean, on his first deal with us, he made 50 grand. No, it was 42 grand, something like that. I don't know. This was a while ago, but yes. So it can be turned into a full-time business. I would not say like quit your job right now and jump into it. You know, have some traction in it first is what I always recommend, but yes. So once the surplus funds go to the state, they are no longer on the surplus fund list, correct? And once the surplus funds go to the state, they will be on the state's website, correct? The second one is correct, and the first one is semi-correct. So once the surplus funds go to the state, if they waited the full 3 years, then they're going to get pulled off our website and go on there. If they didn't, because sometimes the trustee will just send it early because they're like, we don't know what to do with this. It's not very often, but sometimes they will. And actually, it's funny because most of the time they can't, but we've seen it sometimes. We're like, how did you even? I don't know. So usually it's like 2.5 years they try to get rid of it. And if they did, then it will still be on our site because our site's assuming that they'll have it for a total of 3 years. But once the 3 years are up, then it goes away, basically. Can you type in the title site? Yes, I can. It is agentpro24/7.com. Hello, yeah, when the time is right for me, after I'm more familiar with everything, I'll want one, but just for skip tracing purposes. Yeah. Oh, a VA. Oh, I got you. See, there's so many. I'm confused, guys. I got you, Adrian. All right, so this is where we get our VAs from. Okay. let me just say this. The most important part of hiring a VA is hiring the right VA. Okay. It's hiring the right one. Okay. Now don't be scared to hire people. I'm not going to give you a lesson on hiring people, but just put it this way. It's important that you spend time vetting these people, make sure that they're the right person for you. Okay. But the actual website that we use is onlinejobs.ph. So that's our VA website. By the way, would you guys like a course on scaling businesses? Like, would that be something that you guys would enjoy? Like something and this would be for people that are more advanced that have gotten several deals and want to really turn this into a full-time business where they're making a large sum of money. Like, would you guys be interested on how to scale the business basically from like 1 to 2 deals a month to like 10 deals a month, talking about, hiring people, structuring the business correctly, handling all your accounting, your books, your legal. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm submit the yes then. Okay. So that's something that we'll put together then. It's something I've thought about that, but I just didn't know if you guys would be interested in it because I know a lot of you guys are beginners, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with being a beginner, but I don't want to teach you guys a bunch of stuff that's like not going to help you right away. So, but that's something that we'll consider then. Ivan, any tips that Rick shared with you for scaling that aren't mentioned in the coaching call? Yeah, I mean, dude, when it comes to scaling, this goes for scaling any business. Okay, this goes for scaling my real estate business or David's real estate business, my online business, like any business at all, including surplus funds. This goes for scaling. The first thing that you got to figure out is you have to master the sales process. And for surplus funds, obviously, it's getting enough deals to where you're making enough money to scale. Okay, if you're not making enough money to scale, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's number one. Then it's all about building out systems and refining. So like that's one thing Rick, and it's funny, I've talked to him a few times since we did the interview and since we've done the coaching calls and all that. In fact, I talked to him a few weeks ago, but it's all about building out systems. If you guys give me a 1 or 2, or give me a 2, if you guys have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, somehow there's a fly on the 7th floor of this building. I don't know how it's possible. Give me a 2 if you guys have read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. All right, George has read it. Ethan, okay. So in that book, if you guys don't know, he talks about something called the cash flow quadrant, okay? And I'm not going to draw it out because I can't bring up my screen, but basically you've got the quadrant, and on the left, upper left, you've got E, which is employees, okay? And employees make money by selling their time, okay? Then on the bottom left, you've got S, which is people that are self-employed, okay? Which right now, if you guys are just getting started with surplus funds, that's where you're at. You're at the S. And you want to move as quickly as you can from the S to the top right, which is the B quadrant, okay, which is big business. And I know it's like big business. What is it, like Bank of America? Like, no. Big business is simply building out systems. It's doing things when you don't work, okay, because other people are working for you. Other things are happening automatically. And so that is all. Adrian says 1.25. God damn it, Adrian. It's all about building up the system. So when you scale a business, the key is how can you become more efficient with those systems? I built out a sales system that sells automatically for me. I've hired salespeople. I've trained them. They're doing well. But right now, every 100 leads we call, we get 1 deal. Well, how can we make it 1.5 deals? Because that extra 1.5 is going to mean we're going to make an extra $20,000 this month. That's how you scale a business once you get the initial part done. But again, it's more advanced. And that's why it's like I brought up the whole scaling a business like course. It's something that I would really be interested in doing just because I study like a great book. If you guys really want a great book recommendation, is a book called Made in America by Sam Walton. Okay, Sam Walton, if you don't know, is the founder of Walmart. He's long gone now, but that book is basically his autobiography, and it talks all about scaling businesses and what he learned. It's honestly probably the best business book I've ever read. And I've read a lot of business books, so that's saying something. But yeah, so it's all about becoming more efficient and building out systems. Basically, is the key to scaling, and that's what me and Rick talk about. Tellman, I'm a full-time wholesaler. Are you still doing wholesaling besides this business? No, I stopped doing wholesaling a long time ago. Especially here in California, it's just so fucking competitive. And honestly, it's not something I was very passionate about. Like Adrian, if he's still on here, Adrian does a ton of wholesaling, and it's something that he loves to do, and he's very into it. Like for me, I'm not into it. What's your biggest month to date as far as numbers of signed contracts? Oh God, 30 something? I don't know. Yeah, I'd say 30 something. I don't have an exact number for you. How often are you on your Monday and Wednesday and Fridays? Bring a chance this days I'm off and I could get you more often. How often are you on? I don't know what you mean by how often are you on your Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Bring a chance. Eric, can you clarify that, man? I'd really appreciate it. Wow, good stuff, man. Thanks, man. I'm happy to answer that question for you, man. I'm just a little confused on what you're asking. All right, guys, more questions. I guess I'll be here as long as you guys want. So more questions, guys. The more the merrier. Are you guys enjoying this, by the way? I got 10 likes. It seems like you guys are enjoying it, but I want to make sure we're all having a good time. Adrian says 1.25. This guy is out here making jokes, man. Come on, man. So you and David are working the same list we are. Not as much anymore, but I mean, like I said, I don't want to say I don't do surplus funds anymore, but it's just very little of my time, because Dave is the one teaching the course. So I'm better off building this business and having David spend all of his time literally learning every nuance of surplus funds that nobody knows about on the face of the planet, so that literally no one else has an option of competing with us, because we just know 100 times more than everybody else's surplus funds. And so that's what he focuses on. But yes, he works the same list. Although honestly, nowadays, he really does not do as many of the foreclosure deals. He pretty much only does private investigator deals. He's been having a lot of success with that. So that's why I keep trying to tell you guys, you got to get on that. But no one listens to me, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the hair. I need to gel my hair. Maybe if I gelled my hair, you guys would be like, oh, I need to take him serious. George says, better than watching Wolf of Wall Street. Hey, man, I agree with that. It is better than watching Wolf of Wall Street. Although it is a very good movie, but I agree with that. All right, guys. Again, Eric, I'm happy to answer your question, dude, but you got to be more specific. I don't know how often. Any good strategies in attacking the list? Yes, consistent and persistence. So like we have people that they like jump on and they're like, I'm going to kill surplus funds. I'm the man. Right. And then they go, it's like, by the way, I know that never actually happens. But that's how I figure, if they were like lifting in the gym, that's how I'd figure. So same thing. So they jump on the list and they make 100 phone calls, right? They're like, and then they're like, oh my God, that was a lot. And then they just like stop working for a week. And you're like, no, just make 10 calls a day. So it's just about being consistent. Like whatever that number is for you, just do it consistently every day. Adrian says, LMAO, I'd gel your hair. Hey man, I used to gel my hair all the time, but I did the math. This is how much I'm trying to scale my life. It takes me 5 minutes a day on my hair. And I did the math. It ended up being like a couple days a year that I was losing in time just messing with my hair. And so I'm like, fuck that. I gotta focus. I gotta focus on business. Forget my hair. I might get a buzz cut. Throw it back to when I was a kid. How'd you hear about surplus funds business and what made you get into it? I learned about it from David, actually. So David was the one that got me into it. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays to the gates I work, and that's what she left. If you are attached at your check, so I can learn more about the business. All right, dude, now I'm even more confused, man. Can someone translate? What is the 100K club about? Alexander, you know about the quadrant. I do know about the quadrant. Oh, yes, I know about the quadrant. A 100K club is for people in our program who make $100,000 with surplus funds. We also have a 10K club. And for the 100K club, you get this amazing shirt, which, by the way, super high quality shirt. This is literally it's like a $35 t-shirt. It's ridiculous. And on the back, it says Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool. So you get this. You get a really dope plaque, which we haven't actually released yet. And what else do we have on there? And we have the 10K club, which you get a really nice shirt as well, and you get a certificate, and then you get your name put on this dope website, which we're still building. But yeah, okay. What is the 100K club? How would I use surplus funds in Washington D.C. and Maryland? If you're in our course, just go to Module 6. Well, watch the whole course so you get to understand the business, and then just follow along Module 6 and take action on that. Module 6 talks all about how to bring the business to your own state, basically. So I would just do what Module 6 says. Yes, I'm enjoying it. I got to go back to work now, though. All right, Eric. Awesome, man. Well, I had a good time talking to you. I wish I could answer your question. I just don't understand what you're trying to ask. Does someone else know can someone explain to me what Eric is trying to ask? I don't know. Kudo P. Sorry, I've logged on this webinar a bit late. What's the surplus are you referring to? Where does it come from? Kudo, have you been on my 9 Investors webinar, Kudo? Because it sounds like you haven't, and that's going to explain that question in much more detail than I am going to be able to do right now on a live stream. Basically, people are owed money, and we're bringing them money, and then we get to wear cool T-shirts while we do it. So, by the way, guys, if you guys are in the program, if you guys post a picture of you wearing your Surplus Warrior shirt, it doesn't have to be a 10K or 100K club shirt, but your Surplus Warrior shirt that you got when you signed up, post a picture of it in the Facebook group, post a picture of it on your social media, and tag me, and I'll give you a free 30-minute coaching call for the first 5 people that do that. I don't know. First 5 people that do that this week, free coaching call, one-on-one with me. I'll give you the recording afterwards so you can review it. And again, only for people that post a picture of them wearing a Surplus Warrior shirt. Besides your lawyers, do you have a link to lawyers that do surplus funds in California? No, we do not. But we can. I mean, we teach you where to get lawyers out of state, and it's the same process in California. Honestly, I would just recommend you use ours because it's going to be cheaper. Everyone, it's funny. People, when we first met our current attorney, we basically came to her and we're like, hey, we want you to be our new surplus funds attorney. What do you normally charge? She's like, I normally charge 25%. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. And we're like, no, that's way too high. She's like, well, that's what I normally charge. And we're like, we're going to bring you a lot of people. We're going to do a lot of deals. And she's like, oh, really? And then we sent her like 5 deals in like 3 hours. And she was like, oh. So then she was like, okay, I'll do 5% because it's that much volume. But I mean, if you're just by yourself, unless you have a really good relationship with an attorney, and out of state is different because every state's different on how they do commissions. But in California, it's just tough because there's just not a lot of attorneys that will do it for less than 20% unless you are friends with them, you already have a very good relationship with them, and or they're just nice people, or you can bring them a ton of deals. So I would just keep that in mind. But again, if you have your own attorney, we absolutely recommend you use that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But all right, guys. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Let me hype this up on Instagram. I gotta get my clout going. It's funny, like I'm trying to get off Instagram again. I've become addicted again, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. All right, guys. Here on the live stream, make sure you guys are getting on here. We got all these people. What's going on, everybody? Give me some twos. You guys can hear me and say what's up to the people on Instagram. We got Adrian with a 1.25. Shout out to Adrian. Doing live Q&A, guys. You guys missed it. Still be on here for a couple minutes, though, so get on here. Get on, baby. Ask questions. All right, Ethan says thank you. You're welcome, guys. All right, I do have one big announcement to make, though. And so I'm going to make this now because it seems like it's kind of died down a little bit. If you guys still have questions, I am more than happy to answer your questions. Just leave them below, and I'll answer them. But I want to make an announcement. So excited about this. I've been trying to do this forever. So coaching calls. So for the longest time, we've been doing 2 coaching calls a week. Monday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's great. The problem with coaching calls at that time is that is 10:30 p.m. on East Coast Standard Time. And we have a lot of people that live on the East Coast that are in this program. And so what we've decided to do is we're going to add in an East Coast friendly time. So now we're still going to have the Monday night call at 7:30. In fact, this Monday is going to be a special call. We're going to have Michael Sullivan on there who just got a deal for $50K. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's $50K with the private investigative mini course. So he's going to be on. So be there Monday. Wednesday, we're going to do a coaching call now every single week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So all you Eastern Standard folks, you guys will have a coaching call dedicated for your guys' time zone. I know, I'm so excited. We've been trying to do this for months. We finally figured out the timing that we want to do it at. And so Eastern Standard Time coaching call Wednesday. I'm excited. And then Thursday will be the same time for now as well. We might switch that one up though and go a different time or a different day. But yes, so you guys now have an Eastern Standard Time coaching call. I know, I'm so excited. And hopefully, if you guys are in the program, you guys are excited about that, give me like a 2. Because if we don't, I mean, David's taking extra time to do this, so we don't have to do it if you guys don't want him to. But I'm assuming you guys want him to. Okay, Elliot says thank you. Yes, we're more than happy to do that. Ethan says 2. Okay. So we'll have 2 people on the coaching calls then, I guess. Okay, there we go. We have some more 2s coming in. Is private course something different? I'm confused what it is. Please elaborate. All right, so the private investigator course, Telman, is in Surplus Fund Mastery. It's like a bonus course that we released to all of our members for free. It's something that we're actually going to start selling here in about, what's our timeline? May 15th, so basically about 45 days. For like $397 is going to be the price point of it. And it basically just teaches you how to recover state funds. So funds that are older than 3 years in California. It's going to get updated to be a national level course as well. It kind of already is, to be honest with you. You just take what we teach and just bring it to your state. It's literally, instead of searching California unclaimed properties, you'd search New York unclaimed properties. It's really that easy, and do a little research. But we want to make it as national and easy as possible. So it's in there. It's if you go to the left where all the modules are, it's at the very bottom, private investigative mini course. So very, very short. It's like 30 minutes, like straight to the point, but it gets the information out. All right, so it seems like you guys are excited about the Eastern Standard coaching calls. So yeah, so again, 2 announcements, coaching calls. If you guys want a private coaching call with me personally, post a picture wearing your Surplus Warrior shirt and on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever, and tag me with the hashtag Surplus Warrior, and I will hop on there and give you guys a one-on-one call for the first 5 people that do that this week. And it can be in the group, it can be out of the group, whatever. Just make sure you tag me and then put the hashtag Surplus Warrior. Elliot, can we lengthen the calls to 45 minutes? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do multiple calls in a night. It's just really Zoom that kicks us off after 30 minutes. We're probably going to upgrade to Zoom though, so we can have more people on, because we've been getting a lot of people on the coaching calls. Usually it's 20. I don't know, it's usually 20, but last one we had 20, 25. So it's just a matter of that. Really the big thing that's going to start happening is we're going to have a lot of people on the coaching call. So it's how can we answer all those questions? And that's why we're opening a new coaching call, as well as to help you guys out on the East Coast. And then what else was I going to say? Just finding better ways to do the questions, because there's so many questions we have coming in. So yeah, we'll probably end up lengthening it. But in the meantime, like I said, sometimes we do an hour coaching call. We just restart the call. DJ Sticks. Hello. What's up, DJ Sticks? How you doing, man? Hopefully you're doing well. Talman, are you doing any events with the Warriors? Let's meet up. It's funny. I've talked about doing a meetup before, and I usually ask when I'm on the live stream. You guys are like, yeah, let's do a meetup, Surplus Warriors. And that's awesome. I'm excited. It's definitely something we want to do. But it's tough because everyone's in different places. And if we're going to do it, we want it to be really, really good. I hate putting out crappy quality stuff. It's a pet peeve of mine. So everything I do has to be high quality. And I'm not always perfect with that, but I want to make it as good as possible. So we will eventually do a meetup, but not anytime soon, unfortunately. Can you guys have 3 payments instead of 2 payments on buying the course? No, we cannot, DJ Sticks. But if you buy using PayPal, there's a thing called PayPal credit. And if you apply to it and get accepted, you have 6 months to pay it back, interest-free, at any rate you want. So you can split it up into 6 payments if you want to. And if you want the link for that, let me know. I will give you the link. Elliot, only a few people get to ask questions. 1 person may ask 10 questions. I know it is a common problem that we have. We're honestly, and you guys tell me if you guys would be okay with this. We might take a poll in the group. Would you guys rather have coaching calls like this, where it's David's out just reading questions as he goes so everyone can get fair amount of questions? Or do you guys like it where it's you're literally talking with David? I know you probably like it better when you're talking with him, but it just eliminates a lot of people from asking questions. So, yeah. When does the second payment due? They're 30 days apart. So, I don't know. Whenever, if you bought using a payment plan, then whenever 30 days from your first payment is, that's when it would be due. This is better. Yeah, honestly, Ethan, that's what I thought too. Just because I'm sure you guys like talking and interacting with David, but at the same time, it's just tough because, we want to make sure everyone gets to ask questions. So we'll probably end up doing it this way. This way coaching is really good. Okay, awesome. So I'll talk with David. We might just start doing it Facebook and it'll be easier. Always problems with the calls. Yeah, I know. Especially now we have a lot more people. It used to be 3 people on. It was great, but you have 30 people on. We've had literally where it crashes. So we have 50 people on. We're oh God, this is not going to work. So yeah, always problems with the calls. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. Hey guys, is there anyone in Dallas that's on this call right now? Because I'm going to be in Dallas in April 11th. I'm flying out, but I'll be there the 12th, 13th, and 14th. So if you guys want to meet up, if you guys live in Dallas, let me know. I'm happy to come out there and meet up. I am going to be at I call it the Illuminati Business Conference I go to. So I can't meet you during then, but maybe on a Friday night or something, we can all go get dinner. That'd actually be really cool. If you guys want to go get dinner on a Friday night, let me know. We can all go out there. And again, it'll be April 12th, that Friday. And then Sunday the 14th, I'm flying back. So it'd have to be like a Friday or say, Terrence says, let's hook up, bro. Yeah, dude, let me know. Shoot me any, do me a favor, Terrence, post in the Facebook group, just because I'm not going to remember. And just be like, hey, man, let's do something. 1.5 weeks and 4 contracts. God damn, son, you're killing it. But yeah, dude, just let me know, and I'll happily meet up with you, man. And like I said, hopefully we can get a couple people out there and we can go go grab dinner or something. Get a little surplus warrior action going. Send me the link. All right, you want the link for the PayPal? I can do that for you, man. Let me get that link real quick. investors.com/pay-pal. There we go. All right, this is direct to our order form for the what's it called? For the PayPal link. So you can go on there, just fill out your information, and then click PayPal credit, and they should let you in there. Talman, are you coming to Philadelphia or New York City area anytime soon? No. You know, it's funny. I've always wanted to go to New York. I've never been, and I'm a huge basketball fan. You guys don't know. My favorite team is the Boston Celtics, which is kind of weird because I live in Southern California. So I got a lot of friends that hate on me for that. But I'm a huge Boston Celtic fan, so I do very much dislike Philadelphia. But if I ever come out there, I'll let you know. So I love traveling. I was just in Denver literally 2 days ago. I went to Denver. We were in Arizona for a little bit, Utah for a while. So the program you have is, can we look up anything in New Jersey? Yeah, dude, if you follow Module 6, we teach you, how to basically apply what we teach in any state. So yes, you can do it in New Jersey if you just follow Module 6. But yeah, man, Terrence, let me know, dude. I'd love to, and I'll hit up Paul and Lawrence too, because I haven't seen them forever, and I've never even met them personally in person. But I'd love to. Oklahoma, best for sightseeing. We have grass and cows. LOL. That's so fun. You know what's funny about that, Ethan, is when I was in Denver, I got an Uber, and we had this Uber driver, and I was like, hey man, and he had like a real thick country accent. I was like, oh, you're not. A lot of people in Denver don't have a country accent. So I was like, oh, are you from around here? He's like, no, I'm from Kansas, And I'm like, oh, you're from Kansas? He's like, yeah. I'm like, did you grow up there? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, so what was life like growing up in Kansas? He's like, really flat. I'm like, damn, man, that's crazy. It's so weird to meet people that grew up somewhere else, completely different area. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, man, maybe I'll come out to Oklahoma and catch a OKC game or something one day. We have grass and cows. I would love to do a California meetup. It'd be so cool to have all you guys come out to California and have a cool event, hype everybody up, give out some top secret Illuminati information about surplus funds. So you can watch your dog run away here for 3 days. Come on, man. Be roasting your own state like that. Come on. All right, guys. Anybody else have questions, guys? Anybody else? As much as I want to talk about the flatness of states in Oklahoma, I don't know. That's a great use of time. That's funny. Any more questions, guys? I'm happy to answer them as long as you guys want. If not, we will end it, though. This way, coaching really good. Feels like I'm talking to you. Awesome, Tom, and I'm happy. You kind of are talking to me, so that's good. Elliot, this works. Terrence Blanc. Catherine says this works. Catherine, are you in the program? Because I think you asked a question before that made me question that. I don't know if you're still on or not, but if you are, then let me know. Any more questions, guys? Going once, going twice. All right, guys, I'm going to drop a couple links for you guys to check out. If you guys have not seen the webinar yet and you guys want to learn about what the hell we just talked about, you guys should go to 9investors.com because I have this awesome webinar. And yeah, it's just going to be awesome. Okay, so 9investors.com. Jessica says, when we receive our surplus checks, are the checks already taxed? No, most of the time not. In fact, I don't think I've ever personally received a check that's been taxed. So no, you have to pay your own income tax on that. So yes, do not. But I'm going to tell you guys a story, and I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick because it makes me so upset, and I just don't want any of you guys, especially people that are in our community, to make this mistake. So I have a very good friend that, he started a business recently, and he's doing very, very well. It's not surplus funds. It's something different. It's like an online-based business. And he's very young. He's a little older than me, but he's in his 20s and doing very well. And goes from making like $4,000 a month to 40 in like 10 days, like literally like boom, like overnight, right? And so obviously his life has changed. And he has an LLC set up, and so everything's being channeled through that. And so I saw him the other day. I was like, hey man, like how's business? Oh, it's great, man. I made more money, the last 2 months than I made, last year. And he's all excited. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, bro. Congratulations. And I'm like, you're like, what are you doing with that money? Are you reinvesting it? He's like, oh no, honestly, bro, I kind of wanted a spending spree. I just wanted to, sign up or not sign up. I just read Catherine's comment. I wanted to, get started and just buy a couple of, like, he bought a brand new Jeep. He lifted it, put a bunch of crazy stuff on it, and bought a bunch of dumb shit. And I was like, every time you pay yourself, you have to pay payroll tax, right? And he's like, well, what's that? And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, dude, you owe 15% on everything you pay yourself. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and then, you still have to pay income tax. I'm like, how much of that money do you have left? He's like, I have a couple $1,000. I'm like, oh my God. So he's going to be okay because he's making more money. But the last thing I want for anyone on here is to start making money and then make a stupid mistake, like, I don't know, just not pay taxes or something stupid like that. So please, for God's sakes, pay your taxes, work with a tax lady. Maybe that's something we'll do. We'll like find a couple good CPAs or something for you guys to work with. I think that'd help a lot. I would recommend you guys mine, but I want to keep mine to myself. Elliot says, thanks. Spencer, thanks. Awesome, man. Catherine says, I just signed up for your surplus lists. Awesome. Catherine, surplus list is awesome, but I'm going to be honest with you, Catherine, if you're brand new to surplus funds and you actually want to get a deal, surplus list is not going to do that for you. All surplus list is going to do is going to give you a lead, but they're not going to give you the contracts. You're not going to get any coaching. Like I do these like probably once a month. And the rest of the coaching calls are for our surplus warrior students. So I would highly recommend you get in our program. Again, you do whatever you want to do, but I'm just letting you know, unless you have a bunch of experience in surplus funds already, and you have the contracts, you have the attorneys, you have everything in place, you're going to spend more just setting it up than you would on the course. So it just doesn't make any sense, but that's my 2 cents though. If you're interested, Catherine, I would go to 9investors.com/last-chance. And you can check out a bunch of case studies on there. That's the webinar discount code. So you can get a great discount on the program too. And you get 3 months of free leads when you sign up for that. So yes, residual lifestyle. Hey, Spencer, I already have an LLC set up for real estate investing. Well, I need to create a different LLC for surplus, or can I use my existing? Honestly, dude, to get started, you don't even need an LLC. We always recommend after your first deal that you set up an LLC because you have a little bit of money. For you, you already have one set up. So it's perfect to just channel it through that LLC. Now, make sure you have everything set up correctly with your LLC, because a lot of people don't know this. You have to record minutes. You have to record a bunch of stuff. And if you get sued or you get audited and you haven't recorded all those, basically documents in your business that most people don't even know you have to do, your LLC no longer exists. Okay. Which means you pay a bunch of fines. So make sure you're doing that right. But again, that's like something we'd cover in like the scaling course if we ever did that. But yeah, I would just use your existing one for the time being. And then eventually you can create your, a new one or something. But yeah. God, I really should do a scaling course. There's just so much I feel like I could help you guys with. I just want to make sure you guys are getting consistent deals first before I do that. Because like there's like these crazy tax strategies where you can like, I can't even sit here and talk about it. It's just, there's so much stuff you can do out there that's like crazy. Like I know people that, and I don't personally do this, the all transparency, but I know people that this is for like extremely wealthy people. If you're making more than $2 million a year in income, right? Not your business, but like you're personally bringing in income. There's people that literally set up basically offshore irrevocable trusts and they just funnel all their money through there. And it's like, everyone talks about the cliche, like sending money offshore, but like it actually happens. And unfortunately, it's like, it happens a lot. And literally I know people that set that up. It's kind of weird. And I probably wouldn't teach you guys that because I don't know if that's really morally okay. But there's a lot of really cool tax things you can do. And liability things you guys can do to basically eliminate all liability from you and lower your tax bill greatly. I had a good friend of mine that last year, 2018, he paid just under $250,000 in taxes, and he's 19 years old. He started a business and took everything out of the business, just like my other friend. Yeah. Catherine says, sounds great. Daryl says, all right, man. Man, I can't wait to quit my job. Hey, man, you got to get a deal first, man. That's always my rule. But I'm with you, man. Jobs are not fun. I love what I do so much. Like, that's why I spend 18 hours a day doing this shit, because I just love it. Like, literally, like, I got back from Denver, Colorado on a 16-hour drive at like 4 a.m. And like I slept for an hour and I came to the office. Like, not because I had anything to do. I just wanted to be here. I don't know. I like being here. So I'm kind of weird though, if you haven't figured that one out. Guys, make sure if you guys have gotten a deal, you guys have gotten paid for your deal, go to surpluswarriorhalloffame.com, submit an application with a photocopy of your check, and you guys could be our next member of our 100K club or our 10K club. And we'll do an interview with you. It's going to be freaking amazing. You're going to get an award. We're going to give you a t-shirt. I'm going to tell people how awesome you are. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right, guys. How was your steak dinner, Spencer? Oh, he remembers my steak dinner. Dude, it was amazing. So Frank, I just want to make this clear. I'm a very humble person. Well, I shouldn't say that. I can be cocky sometimes for sure, but I'm a very humble person. I really try not to spend a lot of money, especially on dumb things like steak dinners. But like, we went to this place, man. The steak was so goddamn good. It was $80 for a steak, but it was a really good steak. Let me tell you something. So I had a nice ribeye. Oh, it's delicious, man. Highly recommend Fleming's if you guys could make it down here to Newport Beach, Southern California. Daryl says, haha, just can't wait to get started at all. Started is all. Excuse my enthusiasm. Oh, no worries, man. I'm enthusiastic all the time. So you're talking, if you want to tell David that, I understand, but oh God. I wish we don't have anyone on here that's been in the program for like more than a couple months, but if you guys could have seen the original version of our program, it was so bad. David, and I'm going to make fun of David here. I love David, but I'm going to make fun of him. David didn't know how to turn off the screen recording yet. So he went through and he literally, David, I love David. I'll give him credit. Sometimes it's a little monotone. And he knows that, but he gets to the end of the videos. And he's like, all right, over and out. Right. And then he's like, for 45 seconds, he's like trying to find the button. He's like, God damn it. It's like trying to find the button to turn it off. And there's like 30 videos in a row that it was so bad. And so I just we've updated it so much. And yeah, trust me, I'm always enthusiastic about it. David is enthusiastic, but he doesn't show it as much. And yeah. Ethan says, thank you for your time. This program means a lot to me. Well, thanks, Ethan. That actually means a lot to me that you said that, man. So I'm glad that you enjoy it, man. And, hopefully you're making progress on your business, man. And again, guys, if you want a one-on-one call with me, take a photo wearing your Surplus Warrior shirt. People have done it in the past. I haven't done one of these for a while, though, so I'm doing it again. Frank, how was your steak dinner, Spencer? Hello, it was good, man. Treating yourself from time to time isn't all that bad, haha. You work hard, enjoy that damn steak. I know, it's funny, like I've talked about this too before, like since I was a little kid, my dream car has always been like a Mercedes AMG, and it's kind of always been a C63 AMG. And like I go through these phases where it's like, I'm in a position now financially where I can afford that, which is amazing, right? But at the same time, like I just look at it, I'm like, this is so stupid. Why would I buy this? Right? Like, why? So I have a day where I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it in this color. I'm going to do this. And then the next day I'm like, oh my God, that's why I'm embarrassed. I'm even thinking about this. And it's like, I go back and forth so many times, and it's like, it's just so stupid. I play games with myself, and like, it's just so, don't spend money on stupid things. It's just so stupid. And once in a while steak is fine, but it's pretty stupid. Daryl says, ha. Yeah, no, David's progressed a long way in the surplus fund game as far as the course goes. So it's a lot better now than what it was, for sure. And like I said, we're always talking about quality. It's something that like we're super, I don't even know how to say other than it's like basically our number one, our North Star for our business is just getting people results, and that's what I'm most proud of. So that's why we spend so much time updating it. Like literally, like we literally just launched module 6 like a week ago, and we're already like doing a bunch of new crazy shit that we haven't even announced yet. So like, yeah, at least it's not a super sports car. I see, that's the thing, Frank, is like, I have a good friend, that another young guy that is making money, but he went and he got an M4, And he's paying like $1,200 a month for that. And I'm like, dude, that's stupid, right? But he's like, oh, I kind of got used to it. Now I want to get a Lamborghini. And I'm like, see, it's just this cycle. It's like this downward cycle. That's why I drive. I have a nice Mercedes. It's a couple years old, but it's nice, and it's not expensive. It's not too expensive. And I love Chipotle. Chipotle is like my favorite place to go and eat. There's one down the street, other than Lucille's, as you guys know. So anyway, all right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Unless you guys have like a last minute question or something, but we've been on here for a while. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm starting to lose my voice and I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. So unless you guys have any more questions, if you guys enjoyed this enjoyed this live call, like the live stream and give me some twos, guys. Give me some twos in the comments. Let me know you guys enjoyed it. And maybe I'll try to get on here like once a week or something and do like a 4th coaching call. Wouldn't that be crazy? We did 4 in a week. That's too much to handle. Jessica says, thanks. Residual Lifestyle says 2. Awesome. I'm glad 2 people enjoyed it. Really makes me feel excited. Oh, we have 11 likes. Okay, we have 11 likes. We have 13 people that enjoyed it. Frank hit me with a 2. Mr. Spencer, I'm good for now. Thank you. Everything means a lot to me, like a lot. Bunch of 2s. Awesome, bunch of 2s. All right, guys. I'm glad I could bring you guys some highlights on this day, on this beautiful Sunday. And so I think I'm going to call it, guys. Again, if you guys are not in the program, you guys are not in anything, you guys need to get in the program if you want to do surplus funds. If you guys are in surplus list and you're not in the program and you want the contracts and you want coaching and you want training, in-depth training, and you want free updates for life and you want attorneys, you want a bunch of other scripts, marketing scripts, you guys need to get in the program, okay? Surplus list does not have all this stuff. It just has the leads. Oh, and we give you 3 months of free leads. So, and you get to join this club when you get a deal that makes you $100,000. I mean, how cool is that? So I will leave the link one more time for you guys. Go check it out. You guys will enjoy it, and it will bring you a lot of value, I promise. So, all right, guys. Everybody have a great day. Thank you guys so much. For those of you guys that are in Dallas, Texas, in the Texas area, you guys want to all meet up for a steak dinner on Friday, the 12th. Let me know in the Facebook group, and we will absolutely do something like that. I think that'd be really cool. So I'll see you guys there. Have a good one, guys, and take care, everybody. Let me post this link right here for you guys. And then how do I end this? I feel like David now. Over and out. I'm like for 30 seconds. All right, guys. Have a good one, everybody. And I'll see you guys when I see you.